I am live. I was going to put a little bit of music into the background, but my computer just wouldn't play game. So I'm restarting it, and I'm starting without any background. Today is Sunday, and it's the 21st of May 2023, and I am reading out of Winged Pharaoh. It's a book by Joan Grant. It was published in 1937, and it is her first far memory book she wrote. She wrote several beautiful books about her life in different lives. This plays long before the flood. It's in the old Egypt, and she is a young girl, Sekita here, the daughter of Pharaoh Ated, but he passed away, and her brother Neya, who is 3 years older than her, he is already ruling, and she has to go for study in a temple to be able to be co-ruler and get or gain the wisdom which was necessary in those days. This is chapter 9 of part 3 of this book. It's entitled The Temple Scribe. In my 5th year in the temple, there were 12 pupils in the way of Anubis, and 40 who were learning to be lookers. A looker is trained to leave her body by looking at a bright spot of light, sometimes at a flame, but usually at sunlight reflected in a cup of polished silver. Although she has left her body, to her it seems as if the things she sees away from earth are a vision pictured in her cup. Lookers can see only the spirit counterpart of earth. They watch over the borders of our country so that an invasion should not find us unprepared. They are also used to send messages between temples, and by this means news can travel many days' journey in the span of time that it takes a priest to leave his body and make a distant-looking girl see a vision in her cup. For some messages there are symbols which are recognized in all temples. Every big town has its symbol. If a looking girl at Abitwa saw first a crook and then a locust, she would know that there was a pestilence in the royal city. If she saw an ibex and a script husk of corn, she would know that the garrison of Nakish needed more grain. At the chief temples, in time of danger, 3 girls looked into 3 sides of a pyramid of silver, and if all see the same vision, then it is known that their sight is clear and unobstructed. Of these 40 pupils, there were 3 training to be lookers of Ma'at, and of these I was one. And Nesera taught me how to leave my body, first by looking at a bright light, and then by my will, unaided, until I could travel as freely as my body slept. Yet at the same time make my tongue record what I did and saw away from it. I travelled not only to the counterpart of earth, but to all those places to which my spirit could reach upon a sleep journey. And Nesera taught me also how to read my own records, and I could look back across a vista of the years and see myself when I had lived in other countries and spoken other tongues, remember 100 childhoods and 100 deaths as clearly as if each past moment were the living present. Although I could remember that I had made my body speak when I was away from it, when I returned I could not remember in detail what I had said. So my words were recorded by a scribe, and when he read them to me I knew whether I had recorded clearly what I had seen. Among the scribes was one, Thoth Teradas, who was my friend, and often we talked together when our work was done. He was old and had been a temple scribe for 40 years. Though he had no priestly training, he had recorded much of my wisdom, for he was a scribe of priests. Words to him were like colours to a drawing scribe, and with them he painted things that he had seen, so that other men could look upon them through his eyes. He could tell me to search for words as if I were a goldsmith, matching beads to make a necklace, balancing their colour, sound and shape, and smoothly stringing them upon my thread of thought, so that they should delight both mind and ear. Once he said to me, "The goddess of truth in her celestial sphere walks naked in beauty. But when she comes to earth, she must disguise herself in words. There have been wise men who have seen her face, yet dressed her in plain tunics of coarse wool, hiding the silver beauty of her hands in falling sleeves of sober-coloured stuff. They should have spun for her fine linen robes, so that her radiance could shine forth on men as light shines through an alabaster lamp. Though I am old and long have been a scribe, I have but heard her spoken of by priests. Yet was their wisdom heavy on their tongue, and could not show her image to my heart. They have the knowledge, I the net of words. If we could only share each other's skills, then would men see her rare beatitude, and all would follow on the path she leads. So I but string my words upon the thread of gratitude for the loveliness of earth, the slumberous murmurations of the sea, the patient pattern of an ancient vine, the muted gold of sunlight through a mist, the mountains still impatient for the sky, into a necklace carven of my thoughts, unwarmed by the touch of her that I make it for. Sikita, in a little span of years, your gateway will be open to her sphere. Remember that words may be the only link between many dwelling here on earth, and the perfection that they cannot see. So pray to Ptah to make you wise in words, so truth may walk on earth, serenely crowned. And he inspired me with a love for words, to say death is kind is not enough. Men should be taught of it until they feel it is their lost love that they hasten to. And I would show Thotheradas the little tributes I had made to what my heart found beautiful and true. I have a beloved, yet I know not how long is the path that leads to her door. But when she opens it to me, I shall hear music sweeter than harps or flutes, for if I'm hungry, she will give me fruit, more delectable than figs or pomegranate, and food smother that honey on the tongue. If I'm thirsty, she will give me cool wine, more refreshing than any in the royal cellars. If I'm weary, she will anoint me with scented oils, and put sandals finer than Pharaoh's upon my feet. If I'm sorrowful, she will make my tears be of joy as I hasten towards her. I hope that each turn in the path will show her waiting for me, her arms outstretched in greeting, for I long to dwell in peace in her house. My beloved is very beautiful, her eyes are gentle, and her hands that succour me are strong. I have longed for her through my lonely days on earth, for she has welcomed me after many journeys, and the name of my beloved is Death. Thotheradas was quite pleased with my poem, but he said it was too long, and it would have been better if it had ended. I hope that each turn of the path will show her arms outstretched in greeting, for I long to dwell in peace in her house. Do you not know the name of my beloved? Her name is Death. I said, I'm not sure that I agree, but if you want a short poem, here is one. A starving man dreamt he sat at a feast. A blind musician dreamt he saw the stars. A vanquished warrior dreamt of victory, and when they woke they found that it was true, for in their sleep the three of them had died. And he said, I find that very pleasing. Always remember it is better to make a bracelet that fits the wrist than a necklace so long that the wearer stumbles over it. Beautiful wisdom. I'm sorry about my washing machine telling me it's done. It's a virtual friend. Have a lovely Sunday.